In CoRover, BharatGPT, we are trying to make any existing tech more human, natural. People are very, very adaptive. If we give them the right tool, the right experience, it should work.
Hi, and welcome back to the Oxfounders Global Podcast. Today, we're honoured to have with us Ankush Sabharwal, founder of CoRover.ai. It's Asia's #1 B2B AI platform and has reached over 1 billion users. Let's dive in.
It is a pleasure to be joined today by Ankush Sabharwal, who is the founder of CoRover.ai and of BharatGPT.ai. Ankush, we're really, really thrilled to have you on here and be able to ask you questions. It's been some time since we met in Bangalore, and we're very, very excited to hear your insights. So if I can start by asking you to give a brief introduction to yourself and the work that you're doing at CoRover and BharatGPT.
Thank you so much, Lucas and Morgan, for having me here. And I was really looking forward for this interaction after we last met. In CoRover, BharatGPT, we are trying to make any existing tech more human, natural. What do I mean by making any tech natural is making any tech conversational. The way we are talking, way we are meeting, everyone should be able to use any tech without any learnings, and we should really be able to democratize the tech and should really get adopted by everyone.
Thank you so much. That sounds like a really good mission. Along those lines, what are the things that you're most excited for in tech or AI more particularly in the next year and then also in the next 5 years?
Yeah, so thanks for asking this. See, I see people are adopting the tech which we are giving. So I see the people are very, very adaptive. We don't have to convince them. We don't have to teach them. We don't have to entice them. We don't have to give them offers for them to adopt any technology. If we give them the right product, if we give them the easy way of using. So the next year, I think more and more voice adoption. See, we had started from 0 to 2%, and we have even 50% voice adoption in few of our products. I think that can go up to 80% next year, and then virtual video interactions. We technologists think people who are not yet ready to use voice, right? When I say voice, I hope you understand using mic to use a product instead of typing or clicking using the voice. But most of the techies are right when we say that people are not adopting voice because we are not offering voice, right? So if we don't offer, then how can we expect people are using? And even if we offer, we are giving that second preference for voice, right? So I think we should be more of voice first experience, right? So it should not be people, if they're comfortable by click and text, let them do that. If not voice, I think we should do other way. Give the voice experience first. If they're not happy, then they do text. So I think next year it should be more voice adoption, and people are ready. If we give them the right tool, right experience, and it should work. And other thing which I really want to highlight, earlier we used to think it should look good, the product. Then we thought, no, it's not just about looking good, it should be easy to use, right? And now easy is subjective. Whatever is easy for me might not be easy for everyone, right? So easiness depends upon various aspects, which language I'm comfortable with, right? Which device I'm using, what is my probably education literacy level. So having easy product is very, very subjective, but having natural product, right? The natural interaction is something I think which we should adopt. Instead of thinking about how good it is or how easy it is, now we have to see how natural it is, right? Meeting is natural, talking is natural. So we have to adopt that natural experience more when we design a product and thinking for the user experience part.
That's really, really interesting to hear, and it's so cool how with CoRover you're really, really ahead of the curve in that space. I wanted to ask, specifically about CoRover and BharatGPT. So you're used by over 1 billion users, which is an incredible amount. What were the biggest challenges you faced when you scaled so quickly to such a massive user base?
So we have not scaled so quickly, right? We started this journey around 7 years ago, and it was very tough to first educate and convince our clients to adopt this conversational experience. People used to be afraid of AI because we know AI is not perfect, right? Even if 90%, even if we say 99% accuracy, it still has 1% very visible, very evident chances of failure. And if non-AI products has zero chance to go wrong. There is a form, you fill the fields and you submit, and some processing would happen and output would come. So zero chance. I think in this kind of non-AI products, we believe in zero tolerance of any error, right? Even if you think about Six Sigma, one chance of defect over million lines of code and something of that sort. But AI, it's not like there is a chance of going wrong. It would definitely go wrong when you interact with that product. So that's why it was difficult for this kind of products to get adopted. It took time, but now I think market is ready, so the customers are ready. I think thanks to the users and consumers, they are okay sometimes to get wrong outcomes, and I think we have to now ensure we reduce the errors and give good disclaimers to the users. Hey, these are the areas, that these are the chances when we go wrong, maybe because of the data which we have created, that's probably biased toward this. And when you consume these responses, make sure you apply your own wisdom also. But one extra thing which we do from CoRover BharatGPT side is when we generate response through AI, we ensure we give the reference. We don't go to internet to generate the response. We generate response from the content given by our customer for the use case, and we give the right reference as well. So it's grounded response, contextual, and it's kind of in the secure environment. Yeah, so we are trying to be accurate, trying to be grounded, contextual, secure, responsible.
That seems like a very difficult problem to have with an AI product, especially one with such a big user base, to sort of maintain quality and user satisfaction. Of course, you said one of the things that you do for that, which is provide references. Is there anything else that you've implemented to make sure the product is up to scratch despite its big scale?
Yes. See, one thing which we believe in, I learned from Google CEO, your data is your data, no one else's data. We believe in that, and not just in philosophy, but in implementation as well. So we make sure one enterprise data is not exchanged and shared with others. We even give an option to our enterprise users to deploy Gen AI on premise. See, everyone is excited about now Gen AI disruption, but people are worried. Yes, right. The security, the data is going out of the country, out of their premise, out of their company. So we are giving them that sovereign experience, their data, and being a little more comprehensive about giving this kind of experience for a company. That means they integrate our platform with their CRM, ERP, their database, website. They can upload a document. See, we are in the business of creating virtual assistants, right? So where we try to understand users' requests or queries and try to give answer which is predefined, trained answer. So why it is important? Because see, most of the users are same, right? And most of the consumers of the companies are also same. So if I like, suppose, an iPhone for some reason, chances are 70-80% you would also like the same product, in this case Apple, for the same reason. So if I dislike, say, probably the camera, many people would also dislike the camera. And if I have queries, you would also have the same queries. So what I'm trying to say, 70-80% of the intents, whether it's a request or the queries or the complaints, are same. So it is very easy to identify those 70-80% intent and automate that. So to give an example, if someone is asking, hey, what is my account balance? Right? So why do we need Gen AI here? Right? It's asking about account balance, and we have to do the right API call and give the balance, right? It's just kind of very basic AI to understand user's query. It's more of NLU, natural language understanding. So that is the first layer, which is classic NLP, no Gen AI. The second layer is Gen AI. We generate the response, but from the content of our client. Third layer, if configured by the developer or the business user, yes, it can go to Gemini, it can go to ChatGPT. So we give this kind of holistic experience on the client side and on the user side. So they can choose any language, any format, any channel. They can call and use AI, feature phone as well, WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter, Signal, web app, any channel and any format. So they can text, voice, and video. I'll talk about video. And we're trying to be holistic from the company side and the user side, and we are successful to the most extent.
Fascinating to hear the extent of different ways in which someone can use this product, and depending on their circumstances, on their language, on their needs. It's like glimpsing the future. I know you mentioned ChatGPT in there. Can I ask you what impact the release of ChatGPT had on CoRover?
So it is a very positive impact for the long term, and slightly negative impact on the short term. So the positive impact is yes, people are now using it and they're okay to adopt this kind of technology, and now we don't have to go and convince customers. Now many companies are coming to us and trying to seek this kind of technology,
Mhm.
and that's positive impact. Right? The negative impact is now so many companies are coming to us and they're also confused. So why you, right? Why CodeOver? Why not ChatGPT? Right? So how can CodeOver be better than ChatGPT? Right? So and when they have to implement Gen AI, so why they have to adopt our technology? So this dilemma is delaying their decision. Few aspects, as I was saying, we provide secure Gen AI as a service. As you know, now companies can create their own co-pilot, right? So ChatGPT, you can ask any question. It has wide range of data. We don't. So it's not about giving right or wrong answer. We would not even attempt answering who is the Prime Minister of UK or who is the Prime Minister of India, because we create virtual assistant for a specific company, specific use case. So if it's about travel, it's just about travel. You cannot check your account balance, right? So if it's about banking, it's about banking. You cannot ask the banking software to book a train ticket, right? So our universe remains very small. That's why we hallucinate less. I think they're then the companies are trying to understand now how we are different, how we are better. In fact, there's no competition, right? So what we do is more as a service, more of contextual and more of company specific, use case specific solution, using probably the similar technology of Gen AI.
That makes sense. I mean, there's a lot happening in the world of AI, and it's good to hear how you're able to progress together rather than see each other as direct competitors. Um, but it is incredibly busy. How do you personally manage to stay ahead of the curve in such a fast changing industry? And how are you able to do that as well as a company?
You see, we have not changed much when we give pitch to the investor or a company. You would not believe. So that pitch deck which we show, even as a corporate deck or as investor deck, that's around 4 years old, right? So did we talk about Gen AI then? Yes, and even we have spoken about being proactive. Our virtual assistants are proactive as well. So to give an example, so say if you are transferring some money using our virtual assistant, it will also remind you, hey, you have electricity bill pending. Next 5 days, you want me to pay now, or you want me to remind you the last day? So you're saying, so we are being now proactive as well in the virtual assistant. So I think our vision was right. Earlier, our vision was what? To provide the tech as natural as possible, so that any user interacts with the technology the way it interacts with another person. So yeah, so with kind of same philosophy which we had earlier, the vision, we had four phases to achieve this vision. The vision phase one was to have the platform with at least 100 million users, because any AI platform is as good as the data it has. It's not like you create a product overnight and you do testing, fix the bugs, and it will perform the same lifelong. But it's not the case with AI. AI might perform differently today, and it might perform differently tomorrow, even if you don't change any code, right? Because it's all data. It's all about how the other guy would interact, right? Because other guy is speaking, and other guy can speak it differently, different slangs, different languages, different dialects, right? So uh, AI runs with the ingredients like data. So the first phase for us was to have as much data as possible, 100 million. Phase one we achieved. Phase two was to focus on few domains, few industries, right? So earlier we started with travel, and then during COVID, the travel revenue literally became zero. Then we could, fortunately, easily, with the help of our tech, could do diversification. We went to BFSI, and we are now 70 plus banks who are using a virtual assistant. Again, phase two was to focus on few industries, not one, not all, four industries, right? So four industries which we picked up was travel, BFSI, retail, and utilities. So utilities also covered public and government. So this was phase two. The phase three, which we are currently, is being proactive, not just being generative, but also being proactive, because we understand users. We understand what they need, when they need, how they ask for it. So instead of they explicitly asking for it, we proactively providing them the response or perform actions on behalf of them. So we are in this phase. We have to perfect this milestone. And the fourth phase, any consumer interaction with any company should be automated. Yeah, so the challenge is just we have to achieve the vision which we have set for ourselves.
Brilliant, thank you, Ankush. I wanted to end this conversation on a slightly different note and ask you if you could have dinner with any figure from history, who would it be and why?
One figure.
Or two.
Yeah, see, I try to learn from everyone, right? I have 9 years kid, and he keeps teaching me, right? He keeps teaching me. He keeps correcting me. Even sometimes he tells me, "Hey, Papa, so I overheard you talking to someone. That was a bit rude. If you had used this way, you would have still conveyed the message, and it would have been less rude." Right. So and then we have one virtual assistant, and we have a chatbot icon on our client's website, and it after every 5 seconds gets shaken. We shake it so that we get the attention of the user. He said, Papa, it keeps shaking every 5 minutes. Once user uses it, then you stop shaking, because you have already taken the interest of the user, and now user knows there is something like this is there. So after even user has used this once, why you are again vibrating it? Right. So I try to learn from everyone. And but now, since I was rereading Gita and Chanakya Niti, if you know, from Hindu methodology, I think I get inspired with Krishna. Right. So Krishna is not just the people say violence, non-violence, and always do good to others. But Krishna, if you follow, say, Gita and Mahabharata, Krishna has actually tried to explain and convince Arjuna to, if you have to fight, if it's required, right? To And yes, you have to do good, but that doesn't mean it should be one sided. So I think Krishna is, I think, 5,000 year old character or idol, or god, people say. But yeah, I think Krishna's character is something which is worth knowing and reading, and I get inspired. And Chanakya was a strategist. Chanakya was for one king called Chandragupta Maurya. So he used to explain, advise how to be diplomatic and how to be smart. And we have to be good, we have to do good, do charity, but not always be so good so that other can take advantage of yourself and trick you. I think, yeah, Chanakya and Krishna, so very good learnings and very well articulated books are there, which gives you a lot of wisdom, not just to be in the spiritual path, but actually to really live a good life.
Mm. Well, it's wonderful to hear that you can find inspiration and wisdom both so far away, but also so close to home. So, thank you so much, Ankush. I mean, it's been a real pleasure and honor having you here on the podcast, and also to see and speak to you again since the last time we met in India. So, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lucas and Martin.